Hello class, I thought I would make a video to help you find scientific articles, since often I am asking you to substantiate your information that you share in the discussions each week. Where are you getting this information? What are your sources? So I thought I would help you with that. I'm going to the NMSU website. Not jobs, NMSU University, there we go. And you'll see up here at the top right-hand side of the page, we have quick links. So you want to go ahead and click on that and go to the library. And here you will see books, articles, and more, but what we want to do is click on the databases tab. So go ahead and do that. And then we want to select databases by subject. And there's a lot of different subjects that we can choose from, including nursing. I'm going to go with biology. Seems to be a pretty good topic that's very all-inclusive. So we're going to click on search then once we've chosen biology as a search. One that I recommend a lot is Academic Search Complete. So you'll find that once we click on that, it's going to ask us for our login information. So whatever you use for My NMSU, that's what you will put in here. And then click Validate. Uh-oh. Okay. A little oops here. Let's try something. Yeah, you change passwords and you have to remember them. There we go. So we have the EBSCOhost, an electronic database, and some places where we can start putting in some terms. So coming up in a few weeks, we've got another discussion post or discussion assignment where we're going to have to research some autoimmune diseases. So I'm just going to put one of those in here. Psoriasis. Once I have my search term in there, then I just hit search and we should get some results. 17,837 results, as a matter of fact, but that's way too many. So you might want to refine the search a bit. You could look for symptoms. So I could spell symptoms. Maybe you're just interested in seeing that. So we can click on another search. And this is kind of crazy why it's doing that. Let's try it again. And for some reason, it's opening up a second page. So now we've narrowed it down to 1,223 results. So we can narrow that down even more, because over here on the left, we can see some ways to limit. I recommend choosing full text, because you want to be able to read all of the article, or as much as you can. You should be able to skim through the article. And then I've mentioned before the importance of peer-reviewed journals. So you'll see that here on the left-hand side, another option that you can click. So now we've narrowed it down even more. The last thing that I recommend is narrowing it by date, by publication date. So again, on the left, I want to narrow this down. And the reason being is, you know, this is biology, this is science, this is nursing, this is medicine. And so with new treatments, new discoveries, new technologies, you know, things are changing quite a bit. So we want to look, I've narrowed it down to the last 5 years. So we can see here symptoms, severity among patients with psoriasis, implications for psoriasis management. So that would be another one. But notice the word psoriasis and the word symptom or symptoms are actually in the title of these articles. So one of the things that you can do, at least to sort of start to get an idea of what you're looking at, is you can click on the title of the article and it'll give you an abstract. So this is often a good place to start, especially if you're not really familiar with what you're looking up. You're not sure, you're reading through the article and it's not making a whole lot of sense. It's sort of a summary of the study. And here we can see just some things highlighted in the abstract, things like pain, itching, burning, etc. And this is a particular study that they did looking at these common symptoms in patients with psoriasis. So let's say that in your discussion post, you decide to use some of this information. You don't want to copy any of this. Definitely don't want to copy and paste any of this into your post because that would be considered plagiarism. You want to read over this article and you want to put it into your own words. I can go back. I'm going to go back just for a second. And you'll notice instead of clicking on the title, down here you've got the little PDF full text hyperlink. So I'm going to click on that. And now I can read the whole article. So there's the same abstract that we just read. However, there's also this introduction where you can find a lot of good information. Now, I talk about symptoms as well, but things like an increased risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke and diabetes. So there's going to be some very helpful or very useful information in your introduction and also in your methods section. And then lastly, I'll scroll through the article here in the discussion as well. So you can even see they continue to talk about some of the symptoms that patients experienced, some limitations of the study. A lot of times in conclusions or in the discussion section, they will make suggestions for further research. So all of this is very good information, the kind of things that you would put into your post. And you can see that it's the Journal of Dermatological Treatment. So it is a scientific journal. And what we mean by peer-reviewed is other scientists, specifically in this discipline, have read this study and have critiqued the study and maybe have even duplicated the study to make sure that it's legit. You know, do these scientists use good scientific methods and practices and that sort of thing. So their peers have reviewed their work to make sure that they're doing everything right. So let's say that you want to use this particular article and you want to cite this because it's very important that you tell me and all of your classmates and anyone reading your work where you got your information. So you'll notice here on the right-hand side, we have some icons, and this one here that looks like a letter stands for cite. So you'll see it over here on the right-hand side. So I'm going to click on that, and you will see different citation formats pop up. Now, because this is science, we want to use the APA format, and here it is. So you will see that you always have the author's names first, then the year of publication in parentheses. We have the title of the article next. Then we have the name of the journal, the volume and issue number, and the page numbers. Now, sometimes you'll see the DOI or the Digital Object Identifier number. If you don't include that in your citation, that's fine, I don't mind, but everything else needs to be included. Now, what some students do is simply copy and paste this right into the discussion post or the paper, whatever it is that they are writing. That is fine with me, you can do that. But just make sure that these are the types of articles that you are using to find the information that I want you to write about each week. You'll also see another icon here on the right. It has a little envelope, And this is for sending it to yourself, so you can type in your email address, subject and comment if you want, and send it. And you can send yourself the entire article. So hopefully this helps. We can go back to our result list, and again, I can show you putting in some other things. Oops. So one week we were talking about vaccinations, and you could put in another search term, and children, and you can search that. And again, we've got a whole bunch of different articles popping up, and we want to make sure on the left that we have checked off the full text and the peer reviewed. We also want to make sure that our articles are recent. So here we can see a whole bunch of different articles coming up about vaccinating young children in many different types of vaccinations, many different countries all around the world, and different age groups of children even. So again, I hope that this is very helpful for you, and that you are able to find some articles on your own now, and that you also know how to cite your articles. So please give me a shout out. Email me if you have any questions.